What's up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's episode of the Not Your Average Mark Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, the Tutorial Boss Guapo. With me is not Lilith Blood because, technical things happen sometimes. But I do have the man, the myth, the legend, Rick Elsey. Rick, what's up, brother?
Hey, man, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm getting excited. We're getting close to Birthaversary.
Yep.
It's going to be good times. I am stoked, especially after talking to Bobby Munoz last night. I'm ready for that Gauntlet of the Damned match. I'm ready to watch that happen.
There is a gigantic delay, and I can hear an echo, big time.
Okay, delay and an echo. So we'll get the guy working on that.
So
it's a whole technical thing today.
I'm trying to decipher what was being said versus what I was hearing.
Okay. He's made a couple of changes. Did that help any at all?
No, not really.
Okay.
That's okay. Mute the stream. How do I do that? Yeah. I'm just seeing the backstage. I've got.
You know what? I don't.
No.
One second.
It took me into this room when you brought me in, and I can't.
Okay, well, as you can see, technical problems have ensued, so we got a few things going on, but we're going to make the best of it. This Saturday night, we're a whopping 2 days away from SCP Birthaversary. It's going down live, Jake's back room, and 7-year-old me is running around in circles and doing backflips right now because 4:30 Saturday at Jake's, you get the opportunity to meet absolute legends of this sport in Demolition Axe and the Warlord. They're going to be at Jake's. They're going to be live, and I cannot wait. So, Rick, how in the world did you manage to get Axe and Warlord in Lubbock, Texas?
Well, we said this year was going to be legendary, and so that was kind of the goal. I wanted to be able to do something that we didn't normally do in Lubbock, which is bring in stars and legends. For the longest time, I just thought, you know what? We have a good enough product and a good enough show and good enough talent. I don't need to rely on the legends like I feel a lot of indies do.
Right.
But we did the women's thing, and that's going good. And so I thought, well, what the hell? Let's try it for a year, and so we're done.
And it's been amazing all year. Like the legends that have come through your shows have been outstanding, and we're not even done yet. Like we've still got one more show after this one, but I have got to say, I told the story last night with Bobby Munoz. When I was a kid, me, my friend Junior, that was us. We were Demolition. We had our front yard matches. We were bouncing off of ropes that weren't there. It was a whole thing. Jumping off the porch, dropping elbows. It was great. And got into my grandmother's paint and painted our face. Had to go pick a switch. It was not pleasant. She won that match for sure. So it really excites me that I get to see Demolition. Like I get to meet Demolition Axe, and all of you can too. All you got to do is show up at Jake's 4:30. It's $25 a piece to meet Axe and the Warlord, or $40 to meet them together, and then $10 for your ticket to the show. $50, you get to do a whole meet and greet with two legends and get 11 matches worth of absolute chaos.
And that's kind of the idea. We want people to come in and do the legend thing, view the show. Maybe you've never seen an SCP show before, and so if the legend is the one that gets you there, then hopefully we'll retain you in the next event by putting on a hell of a show for you.
Well, I can't say that I've ever been to a Squared Circle Pro show that wasn't a hell of a show. So I'm looking forward to this one, of course. Before we get started into the lineup, I do want to say what's up to Daddy Boss in the chat. Mikey just showed up. Mikey, what's up, brother? Glad you could be here tonight. Um, this is a hell of a lineup, and we'll get right into the reason why Demolition Axe and the Warlord are here, and that is the finals of the Squared Circle Pro West Texas Tag Team Tournament. We've got Downfall Cathedral, longtime friends of the show. We've got Los Crudos, and the winner of this match will be presented the brand new Squared Circle Pro West Texas Tag Team Championships by Demolition Axe and the Warlord.
Yes, they will. When we launched the women's division, the championship was originally presented by Medusa. And so, since we were doing a different thing with the tag team titles, and we're bringing kind of a duality in that these championships are going to be defended in both SCP and South Plains Championship Wrestling, we went with the West Texas flavor and just decided to, if we're going to do this brand new, let's have a big tournament. Let's invite a bunch of brand new teams to West Texas, and we'll cap it all off by having some legends present the titles.
And what a thing to have on your resume, I'm just picturing somebody going, yeah, this is my tag team belt. Demolition Axe handed it to me. It was nothing real big, nothing major. Are you kidding me? Well, this match in and of itself is going to be something. I mean, we have seen Downfall Cathedral go through team after team after team after team, and it's never the same Downfall Cathedral every time we see them. They just get better and better and better. The other side of that coin, of course, Los Crudos, who has won their match to get in and then bye week all the way through it. Mm-hmm. The problem with that, normally I would say they're not ready. There's no way, but you never know what you're going to get with Los Crudos. You never, they may come to the ring just, ready to fight. They may come to the ring ready to play, and you never know what you're going to get with them. And it's that X factor, I think, that makes this match so crazy. Like, how are they going to deal with each other in this? And I, for one, I'm pulling for my boys in Downfall Cathedral. I want to see Ramrock, Ryan Ribbon take it home, but you just can't tell with a match like this.
I think that Downfall Cathedral, obviously they are the crowd favorites. But they kind of showed a little, what I think is a little bit of a strategic flaw, in the sense that they wouldn't allow themselves to receive buys. And every time they had a match where they could have taken a buy, they got a couple of chunks taken out of their armor. And so when you've got Crudos out here who qualified for the buy and have wrestled one match in the tournament, and luckily skated by Art of Royalty, barely, but they've
skated is a good word for it.
They've had a chance to watch every Downfall Cathedral match. They've had a chance to watch these guys face numerous different teams. They've had a chance to study their strategies. I would not count Los Crudos out, because I think Downfall Cathedral has kind of, in a way, provided a little bit of a roadmap to a potential loss.
I hadn't stopped to look at it like that, but that's a good point. I mean, they have had match after match after match, and they have shown what they can do in these matches. And as far as Los Crudos goes, you can never count them out, because they've got all the tricks up the sleeves.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, they're professional bounty hunters. They understand how to tiptoe across some landmines.
this is true. This is very true. So it's going to be a lot of fun watching this match. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. So I have been given the honor by you and TJ to be the ring announcer in this. Can I say for just a second, I get to introduce my childhood hero into the ring. And that's, you know, yeah, that's it's crazy, but that's what this is about. I I'm getting to introduce my childhood hero. And one of these days, there's a kid right now that's going to take somebody you see in the ring at this show and be like, I get to go see my childhood hero. So I'm and it really does come full circle that way. And man, I'm excited. Oh, it's going to be cool.
It should be good. It should be good.
That takes us into I'm not even going to call it a grudge match because it's so far beyond a grudge match at this point. The American Tragedy Phoenix going one-on-one with Nolan Phillips. The history here alone.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Phoenix, Joseph Norris. Uh, I like Phoenix personally. He's a friend of mine, and he's tough as nails. And I would never discount him in a fair fight. But this is Nolan
But
Phillips. And Nolan Phillips has been proving for the better part of 5 years that he is, without a doubt, the cagiest, smartest, most devious person on our roster. And he's surrounding himself with some very large men. He's got Bam Bam Malone, he's got Sam Stackhouse, he's got Clayton Bloodstone, and now, on top of his own brain, he's got Paul Fate.
a very close second as far as minds for this sport.
So, to me, if I was Joseph Norris, I might have asked for a few concessions. I might have tried to work a stipulation in to the negotiation. He walked into the office, signed a contract, and left. And that tells me he wants to get his hands on Nolan Phillips. My worry is that after the fact, when Nolan cut his promo online where he's trying to get in Phoenix's head, he mentioned that maybe you should have read that, which tells me there's something in there that we aren't going to enjoy.
Well, I will say this. Whatever the stipulation is, it better, if Nolan did manage to get one in the contract, he better have made it a good one, because I spoke to Phoenix at the BCW show last week, and he is ready to take Nolan's arms off and beat him with them.
Well, I mean, look, is that possible? Yes. Is it likely? Maybe.
Maybe.
But where Nolan Phillips is concerned, you can never look at any situation and take it for what it looks like. You have to delve deeper and find out what's really going on.
Very true. Everything with Nolan Phillips is a rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of those are deep rabbit holes.
Yes, and he usually is the only one who knows the path.
That's true. That's very true. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes out. I really want see. I'm going to try to get a hold of Nolan. I don't know that he's going to talk to me because last time we talked there were some words, but I'm going to try to talk to him, see if he can give me a little something on what this is about. We'll have to see. I don't think he'll give it to me, but I'm going to try.
I perused the contract, and I found it hard to decipher exactly what he might be talking about, because I have access to the contracts. Right. So as soon as I heard him say that, I went and pulled that file and I started digging because I wanted to find out what we're going to have to be liable for.
That's true.
But the words, and I consider myself a very intelligent person.
Yes.
Nolan designs those contracts to trip up legal scholars. And he speaks in Esperantas and crazy. There's some stuff in there that I raised an eyebrow at, but I couldn't even really tell you if I understood completely what it meant. But I know that in the big scheme of things, the things I didn't get can't be good.
Well, and just from the limited amount of hearing Nolan talk about some of the contracts he's had previously, not to jump on the Beetlejuice bandwagon, as that's a popular thing right now, but they read like stereo instructions. Like seriously, like they're so hard to understand. Um, it's gonna be this is gonna boil down to a fight, and I don't know what kind of fight yet, but Phoenix is coming for a fight and he's coming for blood. And Nolan is very good at escaping that after it's been what, a year since he was Phoenix got himself disqualified for beating Nolan Phillips that way.
Yep.
So like I said, it's far beyond grudge match, but since we're talking about grudge matches, let's go into the next one. We've got a grudge match between Clan Camacho. We're talking Onyx Camacho, Zarek Camacho, Angel Camacho, going up against the Carnales World Order, Emilio Guzman, TOJC Bravo, and a mystery partner.
I know that the mystery partner thing is kind of a trope in the wrestling business. We've had a lot of mystery stuff this year. I'm kind of getting tired of that crap. So I think that in 2025 we may ban the idea of you have to name all of your people when contract is signed. I don't know that because it never turns out to be a good thing. and
this is true.
It's always either a gotcha or it's a oh no or it's something. And I mean, come on. Maybe let's put all your cards on the table, man. Put all your cards on the table.
Well, when you're dealing with the Carnales World Order, they've always got a card up their sleeve. They've always got that ace in the hole. And
you know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna go back 2 years ago. I was the guy who was saying that Emilio Guzman was not a good dude. And everybody, oh no, he's a friendly neighborhood vato. We love Emilio. And I would like to say, who was right?
That'd be Rick.
That'd be me. That'd be me. So yeah, maybe we should, I don't know, just open our ears and listen because we could save a lot of people some trouble if we just go back in time and recognize this dude's off a little bit. Maybe we should back away.
That's it's very true. And Emilio going from the friendly neighborhood vato to the just machine that he is now. He's burned a lot of bridges along that path. So I'm trying to think, okay, who has he not burned a bridge with that could be that next partner?
I mean, look, I will tell you this. We have a lot of contracts at SCP. There's a lot of people that are under contract for appearances. They're not on this show. Okay, they're not on this show. They're not scheduled for this show. But there's 3 or 4 people that I know on the roster who have, at least 1, if not 2 more appearances on their 2024 contract. And if they don't make all those appearances, then it will roll over to 2025. But with this show and only 1 more show for this year, I would have to think that whoever's going to show up has to be somebody who's already had physicals, somebody who's already had their testing, somebody who's already under contract. And looking at the roster, there's 3 or 4 people that I could see being the mystery partner. But that makes me think if that's that obvious, it's probably not those people.
Right.
Because Emilio Guzman is a shifty con man.
That's very true. That's
So
very true.
I don't know. I
Well,
guess we'll have to wait and see. But I can tell you this: I know the Camachos are all about getting with Los Carnales. Okay, they're all about it, and this one's gonna be good.
it is, and uh, there are some of the Camachos I haven't had the opportunity to see wrestle yet. I know I've gotten to see Onyx, I've gotten to see Angel, Zarek. I'm looking forward to seeing him. I know we've got. We'll talk about it a little more here in just a minute, but we've got Emmy Camacho on the card. I haven't had the opportunity to see her wrestle live yet, and the Camachos are. I've talked about how the Carnales are like family. Tio JC Bravo and Emilio Guzman, they're like family. The Camachos are family, and they know each other better than anybody else. So, I mean, I'm sure they can finish each other's moves at this point. So they're well traveled, they're well experienced, and whoever that third person is for the Carnales World Order, they're going to have their hands full.
Yes, very much.
They would have their hands full with just Angel. I mean, it's going to be good though. I'm excited for it. Talking about Emmy Camacho, I've said it the last couple of days, and I'll say it again. Kudos and flowers to you, to TJ, to our women's GM Medusa for just the next level women's matches that we have on a Squared Circle Pro show. And this is one of them, a women's triple threat match, Nova Phoenix versus Emmy Camacho versus the trophy case Nikki Chase.
Yes, sir.
This one's going to be Nova Phoenix, pardon the pun, she's been on fire as of late. Just really getting out there, getting it done every time she gets in the ring. Like I said, I haven't had the opportunity to see live Emmy Camacho, but I have seen footage, and she is a force to be reckoned with in the ring. And of course, Nikki Chase has proven time and time again since her debut at Squared Circle Pro that she is making her way up the women's ladder, and rightfully so. So just the three different styles that these ladies bring to this match is, I couldn't tell you who was going to win this one. Like I couldn't even put a guess out there.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Emmy Camacho is certainly the wild card here. We've seen what Nova Phoenix can do. We've seen what Nikki Chase can do. But here's the best. This is the best part of it. This is why I like doing this with you, because I have a chance when I know something. I have a chance to break a little bit of news.
Oh, we're gonna break news. Okay.
I spoke with Medusa, and originally, both this match and the Morgan Mercy Angela Armstrong match were to be considered women's contention matches.
Okay.
However,
excuse me,
according to Medusa, Morgan Mercy's actions at Equal Rights and Lefts and her kind of snide way of dedicating this match to Evelyn Carter has not endeared her to our women's GM. So she has pulled that carrot off of that table. But this triple, the winner of this triple will face Misty Marks for the Women's West Texas Championship at Pieces for Quitters.
Wow. Okay, so that's some big news there. So either Nova Phoenix, Emmy Camacho, or Nikki Chase one will be going up against
Misty
Marks
for the West Texas Championship at Pieces for Quitters on November 16th.
Wow. That's wild. Excuse me.
And I actually know something about that title defense that I am going to keep
You keep
here.
that one close to the chest, huh? Okay.
We'll talk about that more as we get close to Pieces for Quitters. But let's just say that it keeps in line with the theme of the year.
Okay. See, now you got the gears turning, Rick. You do this to me every time.
Hey, got to keep everybody on their toes.
Now, you did make mention of the match. We've got Morgan Mercy going up against Angela Armstrong, formerly Angel Blue. She's dropped Angel Blue. She's Angela Armstrong, and this is a new era for her.
Yes, it is.
And she is doing amazing things all across the United States right now. Morgan Mercy, of course, just a fireball in the ring. So I don't know. This one's going to be close because neither one of these girls have any quit in them.
You know, and again, as far as the content of the match, I mean, yes, this should be a very hard fought contest. This should be a great display from both women. Morgan Mercy is clicking on another level right now.
Absolutely.
And the feud that she has right now with Evelyn Carter, who hopefully will be cleared by Pieces for Quitters, but we don't know that for sure. She is looking to do damage in the women's division. And I think it's her way of systematically trying to take out as many potential threats so that when the battle is over, she's the only one left standing and the title is within her grasp. So, Angela Armstrong needs to be on her guard. But at the same time, Morgan Mercy doesn't need to discount Angela Armstrong.
Not at all. No. It's going to be a good match. I am looking forward to that one. We also have a number one contender tag team turmoil match. This match, I don't know who you got to ref this match, but they're going to have to be on their game for this one. You've got the Canadian Pitbulls. You've got Certified Wild Card. You've got Island Rage. You've got a new team in Naturally Wild, that being Khalil Santana and Atticus Wild. So whoever you got to ref this, they're going to have to be on their game.
And you know what I love about that? The referee for this match, this is his debut as a referee. This is going to be his second match of his career. He's reffing earlier in the night, but this is his. He's just graduated from the training, and so this is his first show, and I'm throwing him right in the deep end. Hey,
I just say, you do not like this guy or what?
Look, when I was a kid, and it was time to learn how to swim, my dad took us out on a boat in the lake. And he pushed us off the edge of the boat. And he was like, swim to the ladder, swim to the ladder, And, look, is that awful? Yes. Is that recommended? Probably not.
No.
I'll tell you this. I learned how to swim real fast.
Very true. Well, he's going to have to learn how to catch that Olympic swim in a match like this. Let's stop and talk about the contenders we have here.
Okay.
The Canadian Pitbulls, Eric Angel, Elias Castaneda. I love these guys. They are some of my favorite people in the tag team division just because they get outside the ring and they're just cracking up with everybody. It's great. But the minute they get inside those ropes, the Pitbull name fits.
And I'm gonna pat myself on the back for a minute. The Canadian Pitbulls exist as a team solely because of me.
Really?
When I was running WWA in Amarillo, there were two wrestlers from Colorado that came to work one of our events. One of them was named Eric Angel, and the other one was named Elias Castaneda. And Eric Angel was doing the Canadian thing, and Elias was doing a Arabic gimmick, and I had them wrestling. I just put them together as a team because they both were kind of doing the anti-America stuff.
Right.
So I put them together as a team. They clicked, and when they came back, they continued to wrestle as a team. And for the nearly 4 years that WWA was around, they were a major tag team for me. They came up with the name the Canadian Pitbulls on their own, but I was the first person to put them together, and they will tell you that story too.
Well, good on you and all the flowers, because they're one of my favorite teams in the tag team
Oh,
division.
and here's the deal. Look, Island Rage, all the potential in the world. Brian Rivera is the iPay-per-view champion. Baby Samoa is one of the star pupils of 101. You've got Naturally Wild, Kalel Santana and Atticus Wild, both completely accomplished in their own right. It's their first time teaming. And you've got Certified Wild Card. You got Jeb Bingham and Draven Reeves back together. And so, I mean, this is not a match where any one team should take any other team lightly. However, if I personally had to put money on anyone, I think I'm going with the Canadian Pitbulls.
See, and Bobby Munoz said the same thing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of there. I'd like to see the Canadian Pitbulls pull this one out. Either way, it's going to be a great match, and if I understand correctly, the way this match works, being a tag team turmoil match, we'll start with two teams by random draw.
We're gonna draw numbers 1 through 4, and team number 1 and 2 are gonna hit the ring. Regular tag team match.
Right.
Whoever loses is out. Team number 3 takes the ring. We have another match. Whoever is eliminated is eliminated. Team number 4 takes the match. And at that point, we'll have a winner out of that match. They'll be the number 1 contender to the West Texas Tag Team Championship. So it behooves whichever team draws number 4.
Right. They're definitely going to have the advantage. I love the King of the Hill style match like this. It's one of my favorites. So I got to say, as far as the podcast goes, we're kind of in the same boat. Don't get me wrong. Jeb, Draven, those are my guys. I've always been a fan of Island Rage, but I want to see the Pitbulls take this one. So we're behind them. We've also got the Squared Circle Pro Heavyweight Championship on the line. Damo McCullough taking on the ring bully Steve-On Remsen. Look, Damo is a force to be reckoned with all across Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of Texas. He's doing things in Oklahoma. Like, wherever he goes, the Thunderbird is a force to be reckoned with. But Steve-On Remsen, they call him the ring bully, and he has earned every letter of that name. Like, he's not coming in to show off. He's not going to do the flips and the flops, and he's coming in to beat your ass, and that's it.
Can I tell you something about Steve-On Remsen?
Tell me.
And this is totally true, and it should give pause not only to Damo McCullough, but anybody else who is currently contending for the heavyweight championship. Steve-On Remsen lives in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And in addition to living in the gym, he is a personal trainer. He knows how to take apart the human body.
Yes.
He got off of all social media for 2 months because he didn't want to be distracted. He has been training in solitude for 2 months. He just reactivated his social media this week. Wow. And he sent me a message and assured me that everything was fine, that he was just paying attention. That should really send shivers up somebody's spine.
so glad I don't have to be in the ring for that one. Like, if I'm putting money on this match, as much as I love Damon McCullough, my money's on Stevan Remsen because he has that intensity. He has
You
that
know,
fight.
do you know how interesting it's going to be to watch Damo McCullough potentially be the underdog? Think about that.
Something he hasn't been anywhere.
Think about that for a second.
Wow.
Damo McCullough, the Thunderbird, the Texas Terror, Big Damo, is potentially the underdog.
I can't say that's happened anywhere else. I hadn't thought about it like that, but damn.
And how much more do you
Right.
want to see this match now?
Like, fast forward, I need Saturday to get here.
Yeah.
It's going to be something to see, no question about that. Talking about matches I'm ready to see. Talked about it a lot last night. The Gauntlet of the Damned. We've got the Gallery of the Damned. Lucas Scratch's group of feisty misfits. 5-on-1 against Bobby Munoz. After talking to Bobby last night, I'm a little concerned for the Gallery of the Damned right now.
And I understand that. And I do think there is an element of this where Lucas Scratch may have underestimated Bobby Munoz a little bit. However, I can also tell you, because I run the office, we received no less than 6 new contracts with Lucas Scratch's name on them.
Oh, wow.
I'm not saying that he's going to show up with 11 people. I'm saying he could show up with 11 people if that's what he wanted to do. But I think that what this match is going to do is going to do 2 things. This match is going to demonstrate simultaneously the constitution of Bobby Munoz and how much he can take. And it's going to showcase what kind of strategic mind Lucas Scratch has, and is it worth the potential of injury or damage to his group. But I do think that this is going to be very, very interesting, and I hope that Bobby has his work boots on.
Well, after talking to him last night, I don't think that's going to be a problem because he's promised whoever Lucas Scratch brings out, South Bronx Bobby V. He's promised them Rikers Island Bobby Venom, and he's promised them all the Bobby Munoz they can handle. So between that and knowing that, Lucas Scratch comes out in that devil mask and the devil's in the details, and he has details upon details. So
you know what? I'll tell you this. Excuse me, I'm pouring myself a drink. This entrance for Bobby with if the gallery, I just imagine if the gallery's out there, and they may not all come out at once. Matter of fact, that probably wouldn't even be smart for Scratch to do. But I can just imagine them out there and Bobby's entrance. This is where I kind of wish we could use licensed music right now, because I would give anything to hear him come out to South Bronx by KRS-One and Boogie Down Productions. I would give anything to see that entrance, because it would be amazing. And I could totally see our crowd vibing to South Bronx, the South Bronx, South Bronx, the South Bronx. They would. That'd be amazing.
Okay, internet world, you're listening. We need to make that happen. Call somebody to know somebody, because we need to make that happen. It's going to be a great match. Now, there's a few matches here that are a bit concerning, and the first one is going to start the show, and that is the no ropes bare knuckle match between Ryan Justice and Bam Bam Malone. Hall of Fate now in the corner of Bam Bam Malone.
I was against the signing of this match. Um, I actually had a very long and mildly heated discussion with TJ Mundell about this match. Um, Taking the ropes off the ring provides opportunity for real serious injury.
Yes.
And because I know that it doesn't seem that way, but standing straight up on that mat and going down to the concrete is, I mean, the concrete's not made of rubber.
No, no, it's
Um,
not. I'll be the
so,
first to say there are no
I
pads.
don't, I don't like, I don't like this match. Um, I understand why we're doing it. I understand why they want it. I am worried, much like I'm trepidatious about Phoenix's match with Nolan. I am trepidatious about this, but I'm more worried because I don't think Ryan Justice is thinking clearly. And I'm really, really worried that he has gotten himself into a real pickle.
Well, and some of the concerns here. I mean, stop and think about. You talk about, he may not be in his right mind right now looking at this match. Paul of Fate has just turned on him at the last show and
Mm-hmm.
is now in Bam Bam's corner. It's been, taking a look back at the history, it's been a year since Bam Bam cost him the title.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot to go through his mind right there. And let's just stop and think about some of the things that could happen. Like you said, being on the ring, you take a spear and there's no ropes to stop you. You go to the floor. If somebody throws somebody towards a corner, guess what? There's no ropes. Means there's no turnbuckles. Means there's no turnbuckle pads.
That's right.
I mean, there is
There's
so
nothing to
much damage
protect
to
you
be
from the
done here.
pole. There's nothing to protect you from the pole. There's nothing to protect you from the hooks on the pole that normally hold the turnbuckles.
Yep.
There is no barrier to keep you from falling to the mat or to the concrete from the mat. And the fact that this can only be won, in the way that it can be won, which is submission, or not answering the 10 count, and there's nowhere to grab a hold of.
There's no way to break a submission. There's no 1, 2, 3s in this match. There's no disqualifications in this match. The only way this happens is submission or not making the 10 count.
That's right.
Lee. There's so much potential for brutality in this.
Very much.
And that's what brings me to my next match. And that is Lamigra versus Lilith Blood, Killian Crow, K Daver, and Alluvio. I'm not gonna lie to you, Rick. This match scares me a little bit.
It should. It should. Yeah, this is another one that I kind of shook my head at it when the contract came across the table. I was like, okay. I mean, if that's what we're gonna do, okay. This is Lilith Blood completely unhinged. Illuvio, God bless him, is a rookie. And yes, he has an issue with Lamigra, but I don't think he really understands what going to war with Lamigra is.
I could agree with that.
And then you've got K Daver and Killian Crow, who are awesome.
Yes.
But how much do we really know about K Daver and Killian Crow? I mean,
that's they're
very new to this area. And they kind of made a little bit of a relationship with Lilith Blood on Battle of the Sexes weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Are these people that Lemigra can exploit? Are they going to provide some type of challenge to Lemigra that Lemigra hasn't faced? I mean, Lemigra has been around in this incarnation for about a year, but El Gringo Loco has been doing this since 2007. He is a 100% the veteran in this match.
No question.
And he will be leading Lemigra in an effort to corner Lilith Blood and extract as much pain from her as he can.
You know, I've watched over the little over a year and a half that we've been associated with Squared Circle Pro. I've watched promos from Gringo. I'm gonna beat your butt, blah 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 blah. Wild, crazy. But there was something about this one. There was something about his look, something about his tone when he held that belt and said he's going to get everybody taken out till Lilith's the only one left and beat her like the dog she is. His words, not mine. But there was something about that promo that was different. And this one's going to get brutal. This one's going to get, granted, Gringo's got Veronica Vega, El Diablo Blanco, and Keith Watson with him. Sorry, I'm still not a Chris Watson fan. I'm not. I'm damn the do-rag and the trench coat. I'm not a Chris Watson fan.
It's a pretty sweet trench coat.
It is a sweet trench coat, but I can't with him.
I think that is probably the, I don't even know how to say it. I think that's kind of like Chris Watson's calling card is like, I can't with him. Like, he's, yeah, I mean, come on. Chris Watson is completely capable of handling his business. He's dangerous. Diablo Blanco's dangerous. That guy's a tank. I mean, honestly, if you look at the entire group that's in this match, I think that the nicest person in the group is Veronica Vega.
You're not right. And I'll say this, as much trash as I talk about Chris Watson, as much as I call him Chris Watson, in between those ropes, he's dangerous as hell. Like, he knows what he's doing. You know, he'll show you exactly what has given him the name he's got, here in Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, all the way down into Mexico. Like, he's dangerous as hell when he gets in the ring. It's just, I can't with him.
Yeah.
This match is going to be wild. This match is, I'm afraid this one's going to get bloody.
It is. I fully expect this to get bloody.
And bloody matches is what brings us to our last match, and the one that everybody's been talking to me about. And that is our steel cage match. We've got on one side of the cage, Marquise Jackson, Nate Collins, TJ Slater, everyone a superstar in their own right. But on the other side of that cage, you've got Justin Taylor, Noby Bryant, and the world breaker, Brick Savage. Now, I'm going to say this. I very rarely question you and TJ about anything. Love the shows to death, but putting Brick Savage in a cage, I don't know, man.
Sometimes you just got to throw the dice, I mean, this is either going to be really, really cool, or it's going to scare the hell out of everybody. Yeah. I mean, look, Marquise and TJ and Nate, they made their bed. Okay. They made their bed. Now they got to lie in it. Maybe they should have just left those guys alone. Maybe, you know, but that's not their MO. Their MO is they want to throw their weight around and they want to try and create this giant coalition against Justin Taylor, as if Justin has ever done anything to these guys. So, you
Well, I
know,
mean, he did kind of chase Nate Collins out of town.
in a wrestling match. I mean, they signed up for a wrestling match. If Nate is going to get upset about that, about potentially losing a wrestling match, I mean, okay, but you know, you got beat. And then TJ Slater wants to stick his nose in it because he also had been beaten. And
Right.
so, you know, now they want to get Marquise on board, who, let's be honest, Marquise is a giant child. He is a giant child. So, you know, I feel like when Justin said he wanted those guys, I told him, I said, sign an open contract. It doesn't have to be 3-on-1. We can find you partners, but if you want to reserve the spot on the show, sign the contract. And he was like, well, I don't care if it's 3-on-1. I'll do 3-on-1. I was like, well, I would suggest maybe not, but I get it. You know, and then TJ took it upon himself to try to even the odds a little bit. You know, putting them all in a cage, was that the smartest move? I mean, I don't know, but it's going to be a hell of a thing to watch.
I'm gonna reword this because we are, community standards and such, but I fully expect to see Brick Savage beat a dude with a dude. Like seriously.
He might beat several dudes with several dudes. So I mean,
And
I could see him. I could see Nate Collins and Marquise Jackson, one in each hand, and I could see him swinging them like nunchucks at TJ Slater. I mean,
now there is one other side to this. You talk about Jackson and Collins and Slater made their beds, but this is a very, very fragile agreement between Justin Taylor, Nobi Bryan, and Brick Savage. It's not like they're going out and having beers and having a good time. Like, this is a very fragile combination.
It is. It is. I absolutely expect both Nobi Bryant and Brick Savage to come to the offices after Birthaversary and request their rematch, because they were really both looking forward to that one-on-one that got interrupted. And I believe, if you go back and watch the tape, I believe that I heard Brick Savage tell Nobi Bryant, we are going to run this back. So with him saying that, and he made it very clear. I mean, West Texas fans, if you go to all the shows, you know that just 1 week before Headlocks and Heat Waves, Brick faced Justin Taylor one-on-one at BCW. It didn't really go Brick Savage's way. And when Brick was approached with this match, he flat out said, I don't even really care about Justin like that. He was more taking the match because he was pissed at what those three guys did. So Brick Savage going into this cage match has no loyalty to Justin Taylor and no loyalty to Nobi Bryant.
No, absolutely. And he's just got they just happen to be on the right side of the other three.
Yeah.
It's going to be absolute chaos in that cage. I have no doubts about it. And that's our card. And this whole card is insanity. And, if it's me, I'm saying you pay the $50, you go meet Demolition Axe, you go meet the Warlord, and you watch these 11 matches. But even if you don't make the meet and greet, $10 at the door for everything we just talked about. Holy hell.
Yep. It is definitely the most affordable ticket for what you're getting. I believe, and I am a huge supporter of independent wrestling up and down West Texas. I have to be a little bit biased. I believe we put on the best shows for the money. And I think this is not a show to take lightly. This is not a show to pass on. You're going to see a lot of really cool stuff here. And you know me, I'll be the first to tell you there's a big locker room and there's a lot of people there, and you never know who might show up.
See, that you're doing it again. You got to stop that.
Look, we advertise everything that we can.
Right. Well, and it's been proven time and time again that
Sometimes we hold some stuff back. So.
Well, and could they be holding some stuff back? You can find out this Saturday night. And yes, he's holding stuff back. Of course he is. You can find out this Saturday night. Jake's Back Room as Squared Circle Pro brings you Birthaversary. Look, all the fun aside, these shows are outstanding. And if you're in the Lubbock area, $10 at the door, $50 if you want to meet and greet two absolute legends of this sport. You can't beat that. Now, if you can't be here, if you're not in the Lubbock area, if you're like my boy J-Reb out in California, but you want to see the show because he is a big fan of West Texas independent wrestling, you can catch the show at heckyeahradio.com. I believe that stream starts at 6 or 5:30.
It starts on the Heck Yeah Radio Facebook Live, 5:30 to 6, and then it picks up at heckyeahradio.com on the SCP tab.
So there you go. You can watch it live. That's nothing like being there, though. And so just a couple of quick things in case we have anybody that's never been to a Squared Circle Pro show before. You're going to enjoy every minute of it. However, especially with some of the matches we have going on, if one of the guys in the rings just happens to look at you and say, move, get the hell out of the way.
I love that you brought that up because if you don't mind, I would like to rant for a second.
Go ahead.
We try to provide as much hard-hitting action as possible. We allow a certain level of hardcore. When we do things that are no rules or street fights or God forbid if it's labeled a death match, we still have protocols that we will go through to ensure at least a modicum level of safety for the performers.
Right.
I turn down all the time requests for matches involving light tubes, matches involving fire, because there's just some stuff that I don't think we need to do. There's places I don't think we need to go. I don't know that any of that stuff really adds any value to the match itself. And I know there's people out there who feel differently. They love the violence, they love the blood, and they want to see all of it. There was a video that surfaced on X today from an indie show that was using light tubes, and the person stacked the light tubes in the corner and ran at them and did a senton into them. And one of the tubes that broke pierced up through his arm and came out the other side.
Yeah.
He was impaled. He was impaled by a light tube. I don't know what all veins run through there or if there's arteries around me. But here's the thing. That person very easily could have died.
Yes, absolutely.
And if you are a fan who thinks that's cool, I would like to, and I will bleep myself, tell you to go yourself, okay? Because how you can be a fan of this business and a fan of the wrestlers and how hard they work and derive joy from watching them potentially kill themselves. I don't understand how you're a fan. and I don't want you at my show. So if you're somebody who wants to cut, if we advertise birthday bashes, street fights, no rules, bare knuckle brawls, whatever we advertise, if you are planning to come to the show with the express intent of hoping that you see somebody bleed out for your entertainment, I don't want you at my show because you're not a wrestling fan. And sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, go yourself.
Yep. I understand it. They're trying to think about how to say this nicely. You know, coming up, I love Jeff Hardy. My boys love Jeff Hardy. But even they come to a point where it's like, I need Jeff to stop doing this. Because now it's not wrestling. Now it's breaking yourself for a pop. Same thing with Darby Allin. This is not wrestling. This is you breaking yourself for a cheap pop. And it's no longer entertaining. And I agree with you. If that's what you're looking for, this isn't the show for you.
Yeah, I got into it with some fans on X today because I posted basically that, and they, well, how could you be so insensitive today? You're the one who's calling for all the blood. How am I insensitive?
Sometimes you didn't agree.
Sometimes stupid people need to be told they're stupid. and then they won't be stupid anymore.
Throw it out there. I need that on a t-shirt.
Hopefully. So, yeah. So if you're a fan out there, again, if that offends you, that I think that you're a POS because you enjoy that stuff, by all means, be offended. There's nothing between us but air and opportunity.
Damn it. Okay. Well, and I will say this, that is a very strong statement, and I stand behind you on it. But I can say, having talked to a bunch of people, knowing a lot of the people in the crowd, we have some of the best fans at Squared Circle Pro.
Absolutely.
So let's not let anybody get that twisted. We have some of the very best fans in West Texas at the BCW shows, at the Squared Circle Pro shows, OSW, South Plains Championship.
I love the West Texas crowds. And I only say all this because, again, like we talked about at the beginning, when you add these legends to the shows, you potentially bring in a new crowd.
True.
And so if people are coming to see us for the first time and they see some of these matches represented in the advertisements, if they feel like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see all this blood and I can't wait to see all these light tubes and then the fire and all that, no, just don't. Stay home. Because we're not doing it.
This isn't the show for you.
They only got a weed whacker past me last year because they hit it.
And I talk about that weed eater all the time.
And everybody in that match got a fine.
I believe that. Absolutely, I believe that.
Sometimes it's better to just ask forgiveness than permission.
Sometimes it costs a lot more to ask.
Sometimes it does cost a lot more, but I can see where it provided a fun moment. Not so much fun for Evan Axel, but fun moment. But again, look, we're all about having fun. We're all about having good matches, and I want people to be entertained. But the first and foremost, in my mind, is the safety of every single person in that locker room.
Not just in that locker room, the safety of every person in that building. And
True.
As someone who's gone from a fan to having the opportunity to ring announce, I can say that that's there. The safety of the performers and the safety of the fans are paramount to Squared Circle Pro. And I think it's important that everybody knows that.
Yes.
That being said, if we'll circle right back to the fact that if they tell you to move, that's your cue to stay safe. Get out of the way.
Move.
Well, Rick, I want to thank you for being on the show tonight. I cannot wait for Saturday. This is going to be great.
Yeah. we kind of blew the wad tonight. So, like, you gonna try to do Lil tomorrow?
I am. I'm going to try to get Lilith Blood on tomorrow. If Lilith's not available, I may have a surprise person. You never know what's going to happen on the Not Your Average Mark Rest.
Well,
you know what? Let me pull a Rick and be like, you never know who might show up.
okay, I'm all about it. I'm all about it. I'll be in the chat room as usual, but if you need me, I'll just click on.
All right, and we sure appreciate that. We appreciate everybody that's watching, everybody that's listening, everybody that's in the chat. Thank you so much. You're the reason we can do what we do. We will be back here tomorrow night at 8 o'clock with a mystery guest. Until then, I'm Guapo. That's Rick Elsey. We're Not Your Average Marks. We'll catch y'all tomorrow. Yeah.